Darcy Bradley, Faith Walker, the New Thought Messengers. Wow. I was dancing there. I need to kind of just, that's better. Can you hold this for me? Thanks. Much better. Much better. Thank you, Darcy. Once again, we seem to keep finding ourselves in this predicament. That was an 11th hour song request from me to Darcy. Thank you, darling. Thank you. So,
nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I have several. I had to decide which one to wear. Yes. All right. Talmudic law in Judaism, the Buddha, Jesus, Mohammed, peace be upon him, as well as our New Thought founders, all affirmed the agency of women. I come from a long history of New Thought clergy who value and promote religious liberty, which upholds the human constitutional rights of all people to exercise their own conscience and to make their own reproductive health decisions without shame or stigma. In fact, the official statement from our movement is the following. I just thought you might want to know this. Our North Star is our global vision, our organizational shared values, and our statement of belief, all of which speak directly to liberty, equality, equity, inclusion, human rights, compassion, safety, self-determination, and spiritual living. For that reason, we at the New Thought Centers are unambiguously in support of the lives of Black, Indigenous, and people of color, unambiguously in support of gender equity and equality, unambiguously in support of LGBTQIA+ lives, and unambiguously in support of women being sole decision makers about their lives, well-being, dignity, and choices. That's who we are, and that's what we stand for. And for further clarity, just for your information, faith traditions such as the Episcopal Church, Presbyterian Church of the United States, United Church of Christ, United Methodist Church, Unitarian Universalist Association, Reform, Reconstructionist, and Conservative Judaism all have official statements in support of reproductive choice adopted by their governing bodies. Together, these religions represent over 20 million Americans. Now add to that the Buddhist and Islam communities, along with independent religious organizations such as Catholics for Choice, and you see that religious, or in our case, spiritual, people of faith proclaim the bodily autonomy and that women's right to choose is the most basic human right, and protecting reproductive freedom is essential. We are in good and very beautiful company in this. In fact, the very first modern healthcare center to support the needs of patients seeking abortion care here in the United States was established not by doctors, not by activists, but by clergy members. Rabbis and pastors were the founders of the very first modern reproductive health clinic. It opened in New York City on April 10th in 1970, 3 years before Roe passed. Why? Why, might you ask? Because of the harrowing pastoral care experiences that those clergy members had witnessed, trying their best to support their congregants when legal abortion was not available. That is why. The tradition of organizing and supporting women and girls in need of reproductive care has roots in progressive religious communities. Reproductive justice is the term created by women of color in 1994 that centers the experience on the most vulnerable. And make no mistake, my friends, this ruling will impact the most vulnerable, underserved, and underrepresented among us. And so standing on the shoulders of those pastors and those rabbis back in 1970 and all the women, thank you, Mom, that worked tirelessly, the men that stood beside them working to ensure reproductive safety in this country, we are here today in 2022, standing on their shoulders in this progressive spiritual community, and we are committed to doing what is ours to do, not only to support girls, women, and pregnant people in need of care, but to support legislation and lawmakers who will protect them. So I want you to know that we will be creating a team within our social justice ministry that is dedicated to this very thing. I have the great pleasure of meeting with the practitioners later this afternoon, and we are going to start that ball rolling. So stay tuned for that. Next Sunday, we're going to have a sign-up sheet here in person and online. I will also be asking our Global Collective, you online. Our Global Collective is our online social justice ministry to partner and co-lead this effort so that our reach of support will impact not only those here locally, but several communities around the country. Are you with me? All right. All right. All of this said, the fact is that right now, this news is still landing. And it's impacting all of us. It's a tender time, and I believe we need to process, rage, grieve, and gather ourselves. If we go too fast over this tender time, it's a spiritual bypass, and that will serve no one. The spiritual truth is that if we can sit together in spiritual community like this and feel the feelings, knowing that we're safe as we move through them, we will be so much stronger to stay the course for the work that is ahead of us. What a blessing to be in spiritual community, yes? Oh. The poet Christopher Poindexter wrote, "I hold a hope in me that the reason we all feel so heavy is that we carry a little piece of each other inside us." I hold a hope in me that the reason we all feel so heavy is that we carry a little piece of each other inside us. And I have to say, I have been so deeply moved by so many men who are feeling bereft on behalf of the women and girls and the people that this is impacting. Thank you, men. Thank you. I think there has to be deep and tender care of our collective heart right now. And so I thought that before we go any further, if you are open to it, I would like for us to do a meditative practice together to support healing. Are you up for that? Does that feel good today? It feels good to me. All right. Those of you online, please just relax right where you are and please join us in this. So I invite everyone to take a nice deep breath in. What I've experienced in my life, that healing doesn't happen alone. It happens in spiritual community. And so let's do this together. Another deep breath. Knowing that science tells us that prayer works, that sending energy and love and healing light works. Let us first focus on ourselves, because that's where we always begin, and then we will move outward to affirm, uplift, and bless our sisters, brothers, and siblings who are also hurting right now. So another deep breath in. Just close your eyes if they aren't already, or cast them downward as you settle in. And on your next breath, allow it to be easy. And I invite you to just notice your body temple. Notice any place within you that may be feeling unrest, unsettled, perhaps tight. It may feel like worry or pain. Just gently notice where this is in your body. You might notice that it also feels like anger, maybe even rage. Just notice any part of your body that feels heavy or stuck. This is different for everyone. Some people will feel this in their solar plexus or their heart, maybe their throat or even their forehead or hands. Just gently scan your body temple. Allowing your breath to be easy. And now I invite you to gently place the palm of your hand wherever it is that you are feeling any kind of imbalance or tightness in your body. Some people might have it in two places. This could be your solar plexus and your heart. This could be your forehead and your throat. Just notice for you where it might be. Allowing the energy from the palms of your hands to move to that place in your body temple, I invite you to silently say to that place in your body, you are safe. You are safe. Just silently repeat this to yourself, to those places or place. You are safe. Now I invite you to take a deep breath and silently say to the same part of your body or parts of your body temple, you are loved. You are loved. My darling, you are loved. Again, just silently repeating this to yourself, you are loved. And now taking in a third deep breath, I invite you to say to this part of your body, there is light here. There is light here. The light of the whole sun is here. There is light here. And now I invite you to take in another deep breath and gently take the palms of your hands and just extend them outward, moving away from your body. Just extend them in the way that feels very comfortable and easy for you. Palms up. I now invite you to direct this prayerful healing energy out towards every girl, woman, trans woman, non-binary person, as well as every man and ally that is feeling the impact of this recent ruling. Direct the same healing energy towards them. In this offering of healing, recognizing that there is no separation between us, I invite you to silently say to them, you are safe, you are loved, There is light right where you are. You are safe. You are loved. There is light right where you are. The light of the whole sun is right where you are. Taking in another deep breath, allowing this to be fully felt, knowing that on the conscious or unconscious level, this healing energy is received. I invite you to place your palms together. And together we say, and so it is. Blessed be. Know that this week you can return to this healing practice anytime. It only takes a few minutes. It will bring peace to you, and no one will even know you're doing it. No one. I really invite you into this week. You know, this past Tuesday was the summer solstice. The summer solstice is a time to welcome summer in the northern hemisphere. It's known as the longest day of the year, and it marks the beginning of summer. We're sure feeling that today, are we not? It's very hot here in Oregon, those of you from other parts of the country. The solstice reminds us of the seasons of life. The solstice reminds us of the power of the sun. The solstice reminds us of the power of light, the healing power of light that we just experienced. In ancient times in Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, on the solstice, they would light fires on the tops of hills. And everyone in the villages would go up to the tops of the hills with their torches, and they would take from the light and they would bring it back down the hill and they would bring it into their little hut. And this was their way of sharing the light, of reminding themselves that they are connected always to each other and to Mother Earth by this light. It's such a reminder for each of us to not only take our own journey up the hill to get our light for ourselves, but really the reason that we are all here today, the reason that we are making the spiritual journey towards and for an expansion of the experience of light is ultimately so that we can bring it to others. I believe, dear ones, that this challenging time right now, this time that we are in, that this week brought us in, we have been faced with the task of walking up the hill. That every single thing is being rearranged so that we can bring more light and create something even greater to our communities and this planet. Everywhere we look, the old paradigms are being demolished so that we can start again and collectively create something with even more equity and justice for all people. Do you hear me? That is it. That is it. I know that it has felt so painful. It has felt like the end of something. But you know, I found myself turning to a man that used to bring me so much solace and so much light when I was little, Mr. Rogers. Oh, I loved him. Fred Rogers said, often when you think you're at the end of something, you're at the beginning of something else. Often when you think you are at the end of something, you are actually at the beginning of something else. Can you think of a moment when something very big ended in your life? A relationship, a job, a dream, maybe. And now, looking back on it, you see its end was the beginning of something even more beautiful, even more greater for you. Something that had more light and more lightness in it for you. Hold to this coming week as we continually process and heal and move forward together. We in this country are at the entry gates of something new. Do not lose vision of the light at the top of the hill. It is there beckoning to each one of us. And it's important to name that during this time, climbing up the hill, it can feel overwhelming. Can we just say it? It feels overwhelming to be in America right now. Now, I am tired too, my darling friend. I am tired too. And this is why the call for all of us is self-care. You know? Carry water, but wear really good shoes. That just came to me, I don't know. It just so happens that the theme for us this month is balance. It's balance. Jenna Kingsford wrote, balance is not something you find, it's something you create. Balance is not something you find, it's something you create. So this month of June, in this time that we are in, one of the ways that we can create balance is to remember what is beautiful. To really anchor in and allow ourselves to see the good and the beautiful in the simplest of things. In his book, Fragrance After Rain, Jaya John reminds us of this in his excerpt. He writes, jasmine tea, bubble baths, essential oils, candlelight, prayer, meditation, walks in nature, cups of silence, laughter to tears, liberated crying, sacred dancing, soulful singing, gardening, poetry, baking, sleeping, dreaming, cleaning, journaling, sage, cedar, sweetgrass, swimming, drumming, flow, wander, wonder, chocolate, water, spice, succulence, serenity, more jasmine tea. He continues, whatever it takes, stay in your ceremonies. Stay rooted in wellness. Hold your peace. My friends, in the midst of this upheaval, hold to the beauty in this world. I invite you to think consciously about the beauty in this world this week. And as we close, I just want to leave you with this. The Supreme Court doesn't get the last word. The spiritual principle of freedom for all people does. Along with the beautiful faith communities all over this country, we here at the New Thought Center will take our collective and righteous anger and we will transform it into a force for unparalleled change and good. We will take, as Bernally read so beautifully and Darcy sang so amazingly, we will claim our rightful roar in the name of wisdom and love. We will help wherever we can. We will give financially. We will support the organizations and people that are doing this work in the states that need it the most. And we will make certain that every voice is heard at the ballot box in November. Every voice. Hi, friends. I hope that our message inspired you today. I want to give you an opportunity to pay it forward. We are able to do all that we do here. We're able to get this message to you wherever you are in the world based on contributions. We're a nonprofit. And so I wanted to give you an opportunity to do that, to pay it forward. You can click the link in the description box below or go to our website. No amount is too small or too big. We are so grateful. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Know that you are loved. Mwah. Have a good week.